All right, so are you ready to dive into this Champions League playoff match? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's Bayern Munich versus Celtic.
Bayern Celtic, yeah.
Celtic is trailing 2-1 after that first leg, so
Yep. Uphill battle for them, for sure.
really an uphill battle. But,
Time.
the big thing that we're all kind of wondering about is Harry Kane,
Right.
Bayern's star striker, might miss this game. He's got a facial injury.
Yeah, everyone's kind of on edge about it, trying to figure out, will he play or not?
Right.
Bayern's manager, Vincent Kompany, is being pretty vague about the whole thing.
Oh, really?
He's saying that the injury is nothing bad,
Okay.
but it needs more time to assess. He even admitted that his description was blurry.
Oh, wow. So do you think he's, playing mind games?
I mean, it's hard to tell, right?
Right.
He could be trying to keep Celtic guessing.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, maybe he's thinking strategically, like a 2-1 lead's already pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Especially, Bayern playing at home.
Yeah.
Why risk further injury to your,
Your star player.
star player if you think you can win without him?
Right. But wouldn't it be risky, though, to bench your top scorer? It's such a crucial match.
Yeah, I mean,
What is Celtic thinking about all this?
well, Celtic goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel,
Okay.
who actually played with Kane at Leicester,
Oh, wow.
seems completely convinced that Kane will play.
Hmm.
He even said, and I quote this, "He will play. I can't imagine he wouldn't play."
Wow.
But then Celtic manager Brendan Rodgers
Okay.
seems a little less certain,
Okay.
although he still expects Kane to feature.
So maybe Schmeichel knows something that we don't.
Right.
Or maybe he's just trying to, psych out Bayern.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, you have to consider the history between those two.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kane has scored 19 goals against Schmeichel.
Wow.
That's got to weigh on his mind.
Oh, absolutely. If you kind of connect this to the bigger picture, it becomes this really fascinating psychological battle for Schmeichel.
Right.
He has to overcome not just the threat of Bayern Munich, but also the weight of his past encounters with Kane.
Yeah, it sounds like Rodgers is trying to shift Celtic's mindset, though.
Yeah.
He knows that Bayern are the favorites, but
of course.
he wants his team to play without fear and leave everything on the pitch.
Well, he's got a point. It's a testament to Celtic's progress in the Champions League this season. They've shown growth and resilience.
Yeah.
He wants to see that continue, whether they win or lose.
Right.
He even said, "I think there are worse things in football that can happen than lose." So for us, we want to ensure that when we come in after the game, if we don't go through, we've given it absolutely everything.
That's a really great attitude to have.
It is.
But let's talk tactics for a minute.
Okay.
Rodgers has got some big decisions to make.
For sure.
Especially when it comes to his attacking lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, does he stick with Dyson Maeda up front after his success in the first leg? Or
Right.
does he go back to Adam Ida and then move Maeda to the wing?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a true test of Rodgers' tactical acumen.
Right.
Each opponent has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
Maeda's been on fire lately,
Uh-huh.
but Ida brings a different dimension to the attack.
So it really depends on how Rodgers wants to approach this game.
Yeah.
Does he want to hit Bayern on the break with Maeda's speed or try and match their physicality with Ida?
Precisely.
Okay.
And we have to remember, this match is being played at the Allianz Arena,
Right.
Bayern's home turf.
Yeah.
The crowd can be a real factor there,
Oh, for sure.
adding to the pressure on Celtic.
So they're not just facing Bayern Munich, they're facing a stadium full of passionate fans.
Exactly.
How much of an impact do you think that atmosphere will have on the match?
I mean, it could be significant.
Yeah.
The Allianz Arena is known for its electric atmosphere.
Right.
The Bayern faithful will be in full voice,
Oh, wow.
roaring their team on Celtic.
Yeah.
Celtic will need incredible focus to execute their game plan
Right.
in such a hostile environment.
So it sounds like Rodgers will have to prepare his players mentally,
Oh, yeah.
as much as tactically.
Absolutely.
What's been his approach so far?
It's
Has
been-
he acknowledged the pressure that they're under?
He has. He's not shining away from the fact that they're the underdogs.
Oh.
In fact, he's using it as fuels to motivate his players.
Oh, wow.
He's emphasizing that there's no shame in losing as long as they give it their all.
So he's trying to instill belief, not blind optimism.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging the challenge
Right.
while encouraging them to rise to the occasion.
Exactly. It's about shifting the focus from fear of failure to the thrill of the challenge.
Right.
And honestly, I think that kind of attitude can be infectious.
Yeah.
It can lift a team to achieve extraordinary things.
So assuming Celtic can handle the pressure
Right.
and play with the right mindset,
Yeah.
what do they need to do tactically to pull off an upset?
Well, first and foremost, they need to be rock solid defensively.
Okay.
They can't afford any silly mistakes.
Right.
against a team as clinical as Bayern. I mean, Bayern will punish any lapses in concentration.
So defensively, they need to be organized, disciplined, and limit Bayern's chances as much as possible.
Exactly.
What about going forward?
Okay.
How can Celtic break down Bayern's defense?
Well, I think speed and efficiency are key.
Okay.
They need to transition quickly, exploit any space behind Bayern's high defensive line.
Right.
And make the most of their opportunities.
So we're back to that question of Maeda versus Ida.
Right.
Maeda's pace could be a real weapon.
It could be.
If they can get him in behind the defense.
But they'll also need to be clinical in front of goal.
Right.
No matter who starts.
Yeah.
They can't afford to waste any chances that come their way.
Right.
Bayern will be ruthless at the other end.
And with the crowd behind them?
Oh, yeah. Bayern's attack will be even more potent.
Absolutely. This is where mental toughness comes in.
Yeah.
Celtic players will need to stay composed under pressure and execute their finishing with precision.
Right.
Well, if we break down each player's strengths, it becomes, a bit clearer.
Okay.
If you've got Maeda in that central role,
right.
You've got incredible pace and a knack for finding space, behind the defense.
Yeah.
He's a constant threat on the counterattack.
Right. And that speed could be crucial against Bayern's high defensive line, right?
Yeah.
They often leave themselves vulnerable to quick counterattacks.
Exactly. But with Ida, you get a bit more physicality up front.
Okay.
He's better at holding the ball up and bringing teammates into play.
Right.
That could be useful if Celtic want to try and control possession more. So it really depends on how Rodgers wants to approach the game.
Yeah.
Does he want to hit Bayern on the break with Maeda's speed or try to match their physicality with Ida?
Precisely. And we have to remember, this match is being played at the Allianz Arena.
Right.
Bayern's home turf.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd could be a real factor there,
Right.
adding to the pressure on Celtic.
So they're not just facing Bayern Munich, they're facing a stadium full of passionate fans.
Exactly.
How much of an impact do you think the atmosphere will have on the match?
I mean, it could be significant.
Right.
The Allianz Arena is known for its electric atmosphere.
Yeah, for sure.
Bayern faithful are going to be in full voice roaring their team on.
It's going to be loud.
It's going to be loud. Celtic's going to need incredible focus to execute their game plan.
Yeah.
In such a hostile environment.
It sounds like Rodgers will have to prepare his players mentally.
Oh, for sure.
As much as tactically.
Absolutely.
What's been his approach so far? Has he acknowledged the pressure that they're under?
He's not shying away from the fact that, they're the underdogs. He's actually using it as fuel to motivate his players.
Interesting.
He's emphasizing that there's no shame in losing as long as they give it their all.
So he's trying to instill belief, not blind optimism. He's acknowledging the challenge while encouraging them to rise to the occasion.
Exactly. It's about shifting the focus from fear of failure to the thrill of the challenge.
Right.
And honestly, I think that kind of attitude can be infectious.
It can be, for sure.
It could lift a team to achieve extraordinary things.
So assuming Celtic can handle the pressure and play with the right mindset,
right.
What do they need to do tactically to pull off an upset?
Well, first and foremost, they need to be rock solid defensively.
Okay.
They can't afford any silly mistakes against a team as clinical as Bayern.
Right.
Bayern will punish any lapses in concentration.
So defensively, they need to be organized, disciplined.
Yes.
Limit Bayern's chances as much as possible.
Exactly.
What about going forward? How can Celtic break down Bayern's defense?
Well, I think speed and efficiency are key.
Okay.
They need to transition quickly, exploit any space behind Bayern's high defensive line.
Right.
And make the most of their opportunities.
So we're back to that question of Maeda versus Ida.
Yeah.
Maeda's pace could be a real weapon.
It could.
If they can get him in behind the defense.
For sure, but they'll also need to be clinical in front of goal.
Right.
It doesn't matter who starts. They can't afford to waste any chances that come their way.
No.
Bayern will be ruthless at the other end.
And with the crowd behind them,
oh yeah,
Bayern's attack will be even more potent.
Absolutely. This is where mental toughness comes in.
Right.
Celtic players will need to stay composed under pressure.
Yeah.
And execute their finishing with precision.
So it sounds like this match could go either way.
Yeah.
It all comes down to whether Celtic can execute their game plan under, this immense pressure.
Right.
What do you think? Do they have a realistic chance of pulling off an upset?
I think they definitely have a chance.
Okay.
It's a David versus Goliath scenario, no doubt.
Right.
But we've seen bigger upsets in football.
Yeah, we have.
Let's try and predict how things might unfold first. The big question.
Okay.
Do you think Kane will actually play?
It's tough to say for sure,
yeah.
But I'm kind of leaning towards yes.
Okay.
Companies being coy, but Celtic seems pretty convinced he'll be on the pitch.
Yeah, and if he is, Bayern will be a completely different animal.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
But let's say, for argument's sake, that he doesn't play.
Okay.
Does that make Celtic a job easier?
It would be a huge boost for Celtic, obviously, but Bayern still has a ton of attacking talent.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, say Nabricomen.
Right.
These guys can all score goals.
Exactly. It's a reminder that Bayern's strength lies in their collective ability, not just one player. Celtic can't afford to get complacent even if Kane is out.
Well, even without Kane, this match is far from a foregone conclusion.
Right.
What do you think will be the key factors that determine the outcome?
Well, a few things come to mind.
Okay.
First, Celtic's defensive discipline.
Right.
They need to stay organized and limit Bayern's chances.
Okay.
Second, their speed and efficiency on the counterattack. They have to make the most of any opportunities that come their way.
Right.
And finally, composure under pressure. Allianz Arena can be a pretty daunting place to play.
It can.
They'll need to keep their heads and execute their game plan.
You're saying it's a combination of tactical discipline, clinical finishing, and mental touchness.
Pretty much.
It sounds like Celtic has a mountain to climb.
They do, but they've shown this season that they're capable of rising to the occasion.
Yeah.
Remember, they've already made it this far in the Champions League.
They have.
They've got the talent and the belief to compete at this level.
Okay, so time for some predictions.
All right.
What's your gut feeling? How do you see this match playing out?
I think it's going to be a tight, tense affair.
Okay.
A real battle of wills. Bayern might have more individual quality, but Celtic has the heart and the fighting spirit.
Yeah.
If they can stay focused and execute their game plan, I think they could pull off a surprise.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a 2-2 draw.
A draw? So you think Celtic can get a result at the Allianz Arena?
I do.
That would be a huge statement.
It would, and even if they don't get the win, a draw would be a testament to their resilience and determination.
Okay, I like it, a bold prediction. Now, I have a question for you.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about what Celtic needs to do.
Yeah.
But what about Bayern? What are their potential weaknesses that Celtic could exploit?
That's a great question. One potential weakness is their high defensive line.
Okay.
You know, they like to press high up the pitch, which can leave space in behind for quick attackers like Maeda to exploit.
Right.
Celtic's going to need to be brave and willing to take risks if they want to catch Bayern out.
So while Bayern is the favorite, they're not invincible.
No.
Celtic has a chance if they can capitalize on Bayern's vulnerabilities.
Right.
And play to their own strengths.
Exactly. And that's what makes this match so intriguing.
Yeah.
It's a clash of styles, a battle of wits, and a test of character for both teams.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
We've analyzed the tactics, the psychological factors, the potential impact of key players, and even ventured some predictions.
We did.
It's been a pleasure exploring all the different angles with you.
Likewise.
And now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this match?
Yeah.
Do you think Celtic has what it takes to pull off an upset?
Let us know.
Share your predictions and insights in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.